I've been wanting to add some new flowers, but I'm really indecisive and cannot decide on what to make, so I just needed to pick something. I like cornflowers, they're pretty, and we don't have a blue flower in this style, so let's just do that. To start, I just took the Castellation and recolored it. Obviously it's not going to stay that way, but I don't think it's a bad thing to take advantage of stuff you've already made to speed up the process a bit. I've already made a similar looking flower, and I have color palettes for a blue flower, so I'll just steal those to use them to get started. The great thing with this is that it allows you to get it into the game right away. Like I said in the last video, it's super important to see your textures or models in game. Maybe this is kinda obvious, but it's good to have lots of reference images on hand. When I look at some pictures, I can see how the cornflower isn't actually super dense. There's some little gaps and stuff you can see. I wanted to capture that shape, so I went and did a really exaggerated version of that to see how it would look. And as you can see, it was kind of barren looking, so I dialed it back a bit and found the shape I like. Another neat thing with cornflowers is the purple center they have. I was having some trouble getting it to look right on the fan model, which is the part with the angled planes, but I remembered that the Castellation model, all the planes are touching in the center, which looks good for that flower, but for the cornflower, I needed more room for that center bit of the flower, so let's go give the cornflower its own model. I always use Blockbench for Cubyz models because it's specifically designed for making models in this style, so that makes it really quick and easy. You can of course use Blender or whatever, but that's what I'm going to use. I already have a Blockbench file with the Castellation model set up from when I was working on it last, but you won't, so I'll do a quick tutorial on how to import Cubyz models. Starting with an empty file, go to File, Import OBJ model, click on the OBJ and navigate to the Cubyz model you want. You don't need an MTL file, so just click Confirm. Now if you imported an older Cubyz model like the Cross model, it'll be sideways. This is because Cubyz uses the Z-axis as the up axis, while Blockbench uses Y for up. All you have to do though is select it, go to the transform properties and put -90 for the X rotation, and then to make sure it's in the center of a block, go to the Z position and add 16. Then you can right click on the object and do apply rotation, and if you want to see what you're doing, you can right click on the empty space and do center view on selection. If you imported a newer Cubyz model, it'll be upright for you, hopefully. Next, you probably want to see your textures. So in the game files, all of the textures are separate, but when modeling in UV editing, you need to stitch your textures together into one 64 by 64 texture, and each 16 by 16 space is a texture slot. For the Castellation, it will look something like this. So then just import that to your Blockbench project, then right click it, go to Properties and click the pencil next to UV size. It'll pop up a new menu and you want to set target UV size to 16. And then select all your elements, right click it, and go to texture and apply the texture. And there, now you can do whatever you want. Just make sure to split your textures into separate files once you're done. And so with my Castellation model, literally all I did is just move the angled planes back half a pixel so I would get that 1 pixel from the bottom plane back. Then I export it as a .obj file to the Cubyz models folder, updated the model in the blocks.zig.zon, and oops, it's sideways. I forgot to add the other .zig.zon file to tell Cubyz what up direction the model is using. I already made these files for the other flower models, so I just copy paste one of those and rename it to the model's name. Okay, now it's upright and I can continue working on the texture. I can get the center to look how I want, and with all the shapes in place I can start doing final polishing and tweaking, which is really easy because Cubyz will hot reload your block textures while you work. You'll remember I stole this blue palette from the Bluebells, so I started tweaking it to better fit with this texture and to match the real life cornflower better. I decided to do the stem next, so looking at my references I can see they have these small, thin, and straight leaves. The shading is pretty simple, and I spend some time getting the palette to look better. For colors, the HSV and brightness contrast tools in Sprite are my best friend. Other programs will have them too, because I can use it to very quickly and precisely change colors, and can even toggle the preview on and off to make sure I like the changes. And that's the model and texture basically, other than I did a bunch of extra little work off camera, but it was not very interesting. But that's not the end of it, because we need an item texture. And again, you'll see me kinda kit bashing it to start, though I end up completely replacing most of it by the end anyway. You might not even guess that I started with that other texture. Item textures are basically just traditional pixel art. I always like doing them because it gives you an opportunity to show the block in better detail. You're not limited to blocky shapes, so you can make things feel more real, if that makes sense. What took the most time here was getting the flower head to look right at this angle. It's nothing terribly complicated though, so here's the final result. It appears in a few cold biomes, and hopefully it brings some more variety when you're exploring or building a nice garden. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.